Hey guys, welcome to another adventure here at Diaz Family Adventures. If you haven't seen our video on Epic Universe, we have created a really extensive preview center guide. So feel free to go over there before we start if you'd like, just to get caught up on things. But we'll go ahead and get to the rest of the video here. Last year, we checked out
Halloween
Horror Nights over at Universal Studios. We really enjoyed it. I've actually grown up going to these events and actually seen that event specifically grow through the years, which has been really, really exciting. But Ellie, she's had her first time actually going to this event last year. So Ellie, what did you think about the event? What were your favorite thing that you'd like to kind of share with everyone?
I think I really like it, and even though I'm pregnant this year, I will go again. I won't do the houses, but I'll be there. It's pretty fun. I think my favorite thing was the Last of Us house because we watched the show together, and I love the show, and we are so excited. So when we got inside, the first thing we did was like, let's find this house, and we were like for 1 hour waiting and the line was like pretty big, but we did, and it was really nice, especially because in the end Brian got super scared, so that was the
I did get scared, yeah. I mean, I am a little baby when it comes to these types of events, but I always enjoy going to them. They're always super fun.
Yeah, there was like a monster like outside the house. That's why he got scared.
That's true, yeah.
He wasn't expected.
One of the cool things about Universal and Halloween Horror Nights specifically is that it's not just the haunted houses themselves that make up the event. It's actually all of these scare zones. It's like, you know, going through these zones to the haunted houses or even to attractions themselves. There are a couple of attractions that are open throughout the park. So if you'd like to go check out the Mummy, or if you'd like to, you know, check out ET or something like that, maybe those attractions will be open. That's something that you could probably check out. Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool event. They do it typically from September to early November. Mm-hmm. This year, they have extended that. So they're actually starting August 30th. They're doing a special event August 29th, which unfortunately we will not be able to make. Most likely, I don't think so. But we will be there for the official opening date of August 30th, and we'll be reviewing it as well. So keep an eye out for that as well. I actually got a frequent fear pass so that I can review that first night, do a video on that, and then do, you know, a couple other videos from there forward as well. So you guys can get a good understanding of how the event evolves and changes throughout that time as well. Especially with the park just getting so packed. I feel like every single year this event is just packed full of people. Mm-hmm. It's so popular.
And arrive early if you're planning to go, because last year the parking situation was like a lot longer.
Yeah, that is something that I would definitely recommend as well. You know, if you are planning on going, try to get a ticket between Sunday and Thursday night. I think those are the best days to actually go. Friday, Saturday, those are just gonna be super packed days.
Yeah, and like everyone goes, and
yeah,
not just for the park, but for the Halloween Horror Nights and for the seed walk as well. So
yeah,
you might have to wait in the line for a long time to get in. So try to get like 2 hours early probably, so you can park and walk and be there on time to enjoy all the houses.
Yeah. But it's typically cool. Another thing that I wanted to mention that I haven't mentioned just yet is that sometimes these events, yearly events, will invite, Universal will invite other IPs to be represented within their haunted houses, within scare zones, within merch, whatever the case may be. And typically what we've seen in the past, and specifically last year, we saw The Exorcist, we saw The Last of Us, which was amazing. I mean, Last of Us had a house and a semi-scare zone, if you will. I don't know, like a little area,
because like
you can go.
there was like a couple monsters from The Last of Us.
Yeah, there was
everywhere.
like an alleyway that you can walk through, and then at the end of the alleyway there was like a pizza place or something like that. Yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. There was
they're kind of like a San Francisco like zombie area.
Yeah, and then
I like that part as well.
Another fun thing, and unfortunately I have the video only in vertical, so I'll only be able to show this in vertical mode, but really cool thing that they did last year is that some villains and scary monsters actually came out in the Harry Potter area as well. So
oh yeah, and they were looking for like who has like the
snake tattoo.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool as well. And I'll insert that video here. Please excuse us, as that is a vertical video and probably not best for YouTube, but this year we hopefully if they have the event happen again.
Yeah, and actually last year we had so much fun that we barely recorded everything, because it was like really fun. We barely touched. We don't have a picture with our friends or family.
Yeah.
We just like enjoy so much.
Yep. So hopefully what we can do this year is try to film as much as we can. Universal's policy, like I mentioned in the Epic Universe video, is a little bit tighter than Disney's. We can't really film all the attractions. We can't film inside specifically the haunted houses, which is a different policy here in Orlando compared to Universal Studios Hollywood, where you can film inside those houses. So we'll try to film and cover as much as we can for you guys, so that you guys can enjoy it and get all the information that you can before you actually make the trip over to Universal here in Orlando. Just keep that in mind as we're making these videos. For this video specifically, what we wanted to do is give you guys a good preview, so that when you're going to that event, you'll be prepared and you have a good list of things that you would like to kind of tackle and check out as soon as you get there, and you'd be able to prioritize those things. So we'll start out by kind of just mentioning the houses. I'm not sure if this is actually the full list. Last year there were 10 houses, if I'm not mistaken. And then this year they've announced 10 houses as well. Sometimes they switch it up, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's exactly the same. So we're not exactly sure how many houses there will be, but we do anticipate that it'll probably be that 10 number. So first on the list here is A Quiet Place.
Yeah, and I think everyone is super excited about it.
I think this is the biggest house so far this year that has been announced. I think it's gonna be super, super fun. And I really enjoyed the movies. I think you have as well. And I've heard like some rumors down the grapevine that Universal is testing out some soundproofing within their usual sets, so that they could make the sound as quiet as possible. And I think it's gonna make up for like a really cool experience for people, and something that we haven't seen in Halloween Horror Nights before, at least just yet. So that's the first house. I think that's probably on the top of my list so far out of the houses that we've mentioned. With a close second to that list, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which is kind of based off of the last Ghostbusters movie to come out, which was really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite Ghostbusters movie, but it was a cool continuation of that franchise, and something that I'm looking forward to continuing on in the next couple years to come. Within this house specifically, they're introducing a new monster, or a new, I guess, ghost named Garaka, if I'm not mispronouncing that. I don't know. This one is a really cool looking monster from what I can see here, and obviously it'll be one of those cooler houses. I'm sure they're gonna be pumping AC in there, so it'll be a really nice experience, especially because on some nights here in Florida and in Orlando specifically, it can be warm still in October. So so yeah, I'm very excited about that one, and I think it'll be a fun one. So the next one is Insidious The Further is what it's called. I'm not sure, I don't know if I've actually watched an Insidious movie before. Maybe that's something that we can do before we go together, and maybe we can give you guys our thoughts. I know that it's a popular franchise. I just haven't given the chance just yet. I'm excited to check it out. It looks like it's probably gonna be like demon theme is kind of what I'm guessing it's gonna be. And so another kind of demon type house is what I'm anticipating from this haunted house, which are always fun. I really enjoy it. The next house here is a continuation of the Universal monster houses that they've done in the past maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. They've done kind of some sort of continuation of this throughout the years. It's called Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. And this one's a little bit unique. It's gonna be an all-female monsters cast. Gonna have Saskia Van Helsing, the Bride of Frankenstein, and Dracula's daughter.
Yeah.
So that one sounds really, really interesting. I like that, they're doing an all-female cast. It's something a little bit different. And I like that they're continuing to focus on the Universal Monsters, I guess, IP, if you want to call it, or group of IPs, as they are opening up Epic Universe next year. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get some sort of hint into Universal Epic Universe within this list as well. The next one here, Monstros.
Yeah.
The Monsters of Latin America is what it's called. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they did a scare zone of this in the past, and that now they're creating a haunted house from that idea that came from that scare zone, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but that one seems like a really cool idea. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't add Chupacabra. I think in the past they did some Chupacabra houses. I've gone since literally I was in high school, so like I don't remember all of the houses that I've been to, but I do kind of loosely remember a Chupacabra house, and I would have liked to see Chupacabra on this list, as it's probably like one of the most well-known Latin American monsters around. Excuse me for my mispronunciation here. Tlahupuchi?
Alisuna Cole Bishop Sair Uvun Jinju Brinon.
There's gonna be a monster, La Lechuza, and El Silbón. So there are a couple different monsters. To be honest with you guys, as you can see, we're both, Latin.
Yeah, I think we have to search which monster.
I don't know what any of these monsters are.
In Brazil we have Chupacabra.
Yeah, I mean Chupacabra I feel like is the most popular Latin American monster. It's cool that they're introducing a couple of new ones, but
yeah, I'm excited.
But it would have been cool to include Chupacabra on this list as well. I mean, Chupacabra is it's iconic. You know what I'm saying? That's like Dracula. It's like, the Mummy. It's like at least in Latin America and South America. So I would have liked to see that on this list, but nonetheless, I'm excited to check this out. We'll see kind of what this is all about. And then next on the list is a house called Slaughter Cinema 2. So they did a house about this, I think either last year or the year prior, if I'm not mistaken. and it seemed like it was a really cool idea. It was this one specifically is set for like it's set to be like some sort of like horror movie marathon at like a drive-in. So I like the idea of drive-in theaters. I love going to drive-in theaters. I like watching horror movies at drive-in theaters. I think that's just like one of the most iconic things that you could do as a movie fan. And you know, we've actually watched a couple different horror movies at drive-in theaters. Ellie, what do you think about this one?
I think it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be super cool. So
I wish I could go.
yeah. I mean, we'll see how they are, but yeah, I'm excited to see how these kind of turn out. The next one here on the list is the museum deadly exhibit. So this one's museum themed, obviously. I'm not too sure about this one. This one doesn't have too much information out about it just yet, but it's saying that this specific museum has a rotting stone exhibit that released an evil spirit and it decays everything. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. It might be like one of those dud houses, to be honest, but maybe it surprises us, and I hope it does. But so far, it just, to me, this is probably, out of everything on the list, probably seems like the dud of all the houses personally. Next on the list, Major Sweets Candy Factory. So this one, I've never heard of like a haunted house that's like candy themed, which is really cool. But I'm getting Willy Wonka vibes from this.
Yeah, me too.
Like I think if they do Willy Wonka in some sort of like haunted or horror theme element, I think that this will like knock it out of the park. I think this is gonna be amazing house, and definitely one on the list that I would want to check out personally. Next here, and then we're getting closer to the end of the list of haunted houses. We have Goblin's Feast. So this is going to be a goblin themed village, but you're going to be met with goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, and witches as well. They're all thinking about you or us as the main course, the main feast. They're trying to get us to cook us, basically. Okay. So this one is pretty interesting. I've seen houses like this in the past. I think they're kind of a little bit overdone, but if they can do it right, I'm sure it'll be good. So we'll see. Universal does amazing things with, you know, some ideas that they have, and I'm sure they'll do it pretty well. And then the last one here that I have on at least on the haunted houses list before we get into scare zones is Triplets of Terror. So this one's actually really interesting. It's set within a kind of like a triplets birthday party. This like birthday party has some sort of like recreation of the murders of their entire family. It's like, honestly guys, this one seems like a slam dunk as well. I think that this is gonna be super interesting. I like the story that it's at least starting to tell from the little that I have in front of me. I think if they made this into a movie, I think it would be really interesting as well, or at least a good starting point to a plot line that could lead to a really good movie. And I'm really excited to experience it as well. So I think it'll be overall a lot of really nice houses. Maybe some houses are a little bit lower on my list than most, but I'm excited to experience them all.
Yeah, I think some houses surprised us last year, right?
Yeah, there were a couple different ones. The Dueling Dragons house, I mentioned in our last video that I'm a huge fan of Dueling Dragons was the ride that was Dueling Dragons at Islands of Adventure. They did a Dueling Dragons themed haunted house, which I didn't expect at all. Like that came completely out of left field. I didn't understand why they were doing this. I feel like Dueling Dragons wasn't very horror elemented. It was just like a random, cool, and amazing actually roller coaster, but they surprised me. I'm looking forward to a lot more of those types of houses in the future as well. So let's jump into the scare zones. There's not a full list of the scare zones, so we'll cover most of what they've announced, or all of what they've announced so far at the moment of this recording. But first on the list here is Swamp of the Undead. I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of zombies in a swamp, maybe New Orleans themed, maybe it's Florida themed. There's a lot of swamps in Florida too.
Like some alligators.
Yep. So I'm guessing that this will probably be in the new DreamWorks area. I feel like that would fit in super, super well there. If DreamWorks, or I don't know the sort of agreement that DreamWorks has with Universal or whatever the case may be, but if they could put in the Swamp of the Undead area within that, I think it would fit in really well. And then there's also a strip of different houses that they do near ET, behind ET as well. I think that's a perfect placement for it. So we'll see exactly where it ends up being, but that's my guess in terms of where it would be. Next on the list, Torture Fair. This one's kind of like a fair themed. I don't know exactly how much information they'll be releasing about these, but so far we don't have too much. All I know is that it'll be fair themed. Maybe it'll be like a Renaissance fair or something like that, which would be really, really cool. Ellie, what are your thoughts on that one? Anything?
I was thinking something different, like as the new movie of Beetlejuice is coming. Do you think they're gonna put something about Beetlejuice?
Honestly, that would be super smart of Universal to do. There is one unannounced house. So, we were eventually going to talk about that, but maybe we can talk about that now. Like, I think it would be really amazing, actually, if they had some sort of Beetlejuice scare zone.
Yeah, it would be super nice, because I was like, oh, they have Ghostbuster, and the movie just came out a few months ago, right?
Everyone
is talking about Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy the tickets as well. It would be amazing if they have like a scare zone or even a house, you know?
Yeah. So we'll see if they end up adding that. Maybe they'll announce, the last scare zone. I think we're just missing one more, or maybe they don't announce one. Maybe there's just 4 different scare zones, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated. The third scare zone here on the list is Duality of Fear. Again, we don't know too much about it. But what I do know is that this will be in a portion of the park that will be split up. So you'll have the choice of either going through Duality of Fear or through this other scare zone called Demon Queens, which will be interesting as well. So a really cool concept there in terms of splitting up, different scare zones and seeing how those 2 scare zones will or may interact with one another. So very excited to see how that works out. And then the last thing that I'd want to mention as well is that they're doing a continuation of the usual show that they've been doing. I think they did this show last year as well. It's called Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus. So obviously this is going to be circus and pyro themed. It's going to be really, really cool. Maybe have a lot of different acrobatic things of that sort. I don't know. I feel like we haven't really gone to a lot of those before.
Yeah, because our main thing was cover all the houses.
Yeah,
and we weren't like focused on his shows. And actually, I heard that it's really nice.
Yeah.
But this year, because I'm not going to the houses, and Brian probably will be in the line, I don't know. I will be watching the show, so I will record that for you guys.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll end up, I'm sure that we'll be ending up like recording that for you all, and if we're able to.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of showcase that for you all as well. But yeah, the shows has been something that we haven't really been prioritizing. It's just kind of like more of a, in my opinion, and I think that Universal, I think there's like some space for improvement here. I feel like the shows specifically at Halloween Horror Nights have not been quite the best. I remember going to a Halloween Horror Nights back in high school, 2000s, like early 2000s or something like that, mid 2000s. And they had a Rocky Horror Picture Show at I think it was like at Islands of Adventure at that time. I actually haven't seen it in a long time. I think Halloween Horror Nights at that time was split between parts of Islands of Adventure, and then you could go into Universal Studios Florida as well. So I hope that they bring some of that in the future, but I think logistically it's probably not the best stuff that you could probably do. So I think that's kind of why they stopped doing that. I think I would want to see some, you know, different types of shows be introduced, maybe give us a couple other options to check out. I think that would be something that I would definitely be interested in checking out. I always love live shows, live events. So I think that would be really, really cool, but I'd like to see the intensity and the quality of those kind of get a bit of a raise there. But that's kind of it so far from what we have available to us in terms of the information that has been released about Halloween Horror Nights 2024. I hope that you guys enjoyed this preview. I know that we don't have too much information, but we're literally just a couple of days away from Halloween Horror Nights. It is this month, so we're gonna be checking it out very, very soon. We're gonna be there for opening day, or the official opening day. We're gonna film as much as we can, and I just hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that, you know, if there's anything specifically that you would like to see or maybe hear about or follow prior to the event starting, please just let us know down in the comments below. If there's any questions that you have for us, or anything theme park related that you'd like to know, throw it down in the comments. Please like, subscribe,
and
comment, share. It's super helpful, guys. We're a brand new channel. We're trying to expand. We're here in Florida, in Orlando. So we are in a prime spot for this type of content, and we really want to put this content together to be able to show you guys exactly what you'd like to see. Make sure you guys please show us your support. We really appreciate it, especially as we're growing. And one of the things that we actually have coming up this week specifically is we have our doula coming.
Yeah, our doula is coming Wednesday.
Yep.
And we're gonna record. So if there's anyone like waiting for a baby as well, and it's like don't have family around, or just need more support, or like don't know what a doula means, yeah, we're gonna be covering everything, because it's a nice I'll say like work they do to us.
Yeah.
So, to prepare the parents, prepare our body for everything, not just like make all the everything not be like more like the hospital, but they make more like comfy, more how's the
just
word?
more comfortable for you, so that you're a little bit more confident is
Yeah.
kind of what I think you're probably trying to say.
Yeah, make more calming and comfy for you. So yeah.
So we're both really excited about that. We have the baby coming on the way very, very soon. So we definitely have a little bit of a different types of content to give to you guys. But that's something that we are very excited to do, is a little bit more family content as well. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we're going to be videotaping our first doula session, and maybe a couple other doula sessions to come as well. So we're very excited to be able to videotape that and share that with you all as well. And anything else that we would like to share?
I think the D23 is coming as well.
Oh, yep. D23 is coming. So we have a lot of brand new news. Obviously, I covered in the last video a lot of Epic Universe news throughout the preview center. Everything that they've announced for the park, I think, is basically already announced, other than a couple small little details here and there. But we basically have everything at Epic Universe announced. So it's looking like Disney really needs to compete, and that's something that we've chatted a little bit about in our last video. But we're really looking forward to that. We're Disney fans. We like Disney. we want Disney to step up their game and really compete. So hopefully this whole announcement will bring a lot of news, not just to, you know, the Disney franchise, but specifically here in Orlando at the parks. So we're very, very excited to see what happens at D23. That's coming up August 9th, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very soon, just around the corner. So keep an eye on this channel. We're gonna try to do a preview video for that with our expectations, what we think might come, predictions. And then I'm sure we'll do a review video with the stuff that they have announced at that time after it's announced. And I think both of those videos are gonna be really amazing. So more to come on that. Lastly, the Disney Destiny was just announced a couple of days ago. If you're following our Instagram and our TikTok, I'm sure you saw that we posted a couple of things about it on there as well. We do have a couple things to say about that as well. We're super excited. Ellie is a first-time cruiser. We just went on our first cruise together, and her first cruise last year.
Yeah.
But I've grown up cruising a little bit, so I'm excited to see what Disney does with a baby on the way. I think that might be on our list of cruises that we might want to go to. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna be doing a Disney Destiny reactions video very, very soon as well. So a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment on this video. We really appreciate it, guys. And with that, see you later, alligators. Bye-bye.